term thrown around. Well, it's positive reinforcement, and you hear that a lot, but a lot of people don't really understand what that means. At its core, we reward the animals when they're doing something we want. Whenever the animals are doing something we don't want, example A, we basically wait for them to show us some sort of attention, and then we give them a second try or a do-over. And in this case, you'll see that this particular animal, who's playing the part of Clyde, his real name is Basil. Whenever Basil's ready to look for the trainer, Brendan's going to get his attention, and hopefully we'll get the show back on the road, and I'll be able to get out of this suit because it's really hot and swimming a lot. Basil, actually, he has a little bit of a claim to fame. He was the first sea lion that was born in our Pacific Point Preserve when it opened in the mid-1990s. So he's sort of a historical animal in and of himself. I'm wondering at this point, though, if anyone would be interested in purchasing a partially trained sea lion. I'm just kidding, no, I wouldn't say it. At this point, you can have them for free. So yeah, as trainers, it does test our patience a little bit. And so from that positive reinforcement standpoint, we basically give the animals the opportunity to do their own thing if they want to. They're not a computer, it's not like an iPhone, you can't just reset it. We have to wait for the animal to be ready, and then once they are ready, we'll give them a chance to move on. He's looking a little bit more, and what you'll see as the animal progresses, he's gone from being deeper to higher, and then closer to Brendan. And maybe, my guess would be, on the next couple of passes, he'll look good enough that Brendan will be able to get his attention, and then hopefully get him out of the water, which is step one. And once he's out of the water, Brendan will then have to try to move backstage, which is step two, and sometimes the more complicated of the process. Or we might just be here for another 20 minutes with me rambling on, testing my improvisation skills. In which case, really, until then, I'm all you got. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Michael. Today I'm playing the part of Principal Twimby. We actually all rotate, so we do different parts of the show. I started working here at SeaWorld in October of 1999. So this year will be my 20th year working at SeaWorld. For Brendan, today might be his last day working at SeaWorld. We can't get this fixed.
So it's like this that you kind of wish, you listen to your mom and, I don't know, been a gardener or something like that.
My mom told me I should have gotten a real job, and here I am. Really, when I started at SeaWorld, I started working at Seamore Stadium with the killer whales. I moved to dolphins. I went back to killer whales, back to dolphins, and I've been here with the sea lions for going on 4 years. I'm a Scorpio. I like long walks on the beach. If you're interested in learning more, I'm going to be over here at the end of the show. I'm married, sorry. So yeah, we are quickly running out of things to talk about. So what we'll do is, at this point, we're going to look for the sea lion to come back. On this next pass, Brendan's going to call his name. He's going to ask to get his attention. We'll see if we can't get him to come up to the front. If that doesn't work, we've got one more sort of idea up our sleeve that we can try to get him out of the pool. Otherwise, we're going to have to make a decision if we can continue on with him this way or not. So we appreciate your patience and we appreciate you bearing with us, but sometimes the animals have sort of their idea of what their perfect version of the show is, and in this case, this is not our idea of a perfect version of the show. And Basil is not looking, oh, he's coming back this way a little bit. There he's taking a breath, seeing if he knows anybody out there. And Brendan will do what we call a courtesy call, which is seeing if he can call his name and see if he'll come this way.
No.
And that pretty much was a no on swim. Well, before anybody goes anywhere or does anything, Brendan and I are going to have a little parent-teacher conference here, and then we'll see if we can come up with a game plan, see if we have any other ideas of how we might be able to move on. All right, what Brendan's going to do is he's going to holler backstage. There's an underwater door which is here. It's underneath the locker. We're going to open the underwater door, and hopefully, since Basil has the idea of just sort of swimming back and forth, what we'll do here is we will ask him to go through the underwater door, and if he wants to exit that way, then hopefully we can get the show back on track. And we appreciate your indulgence and your patience. When you work with animals, sometimes things don't go as planned, and we're definitely seeing that today. I can hear the door closing, which is a good thing. Hopefully it's closing with him on that side of it. So at some point here, somebody should be coming out to give me an update, and then we'll be able to figure out where we're moving on to. Or not. Let me poke my head back there and see what's going on. Good news is Basil has chosen to leave the pool, so yippee! The bad news is that Clyde is now going to be played by a stunt double for the rest of the show. You're going to meet Clyde number 2. So whenever Neutron is ready to join us back on stage, oh, look at that! Clyde number 2! And wow! In the last 2 minutes, Clyde gained 50 pounds. All right, so where were we? I believe that you are going to show us how fast you can swim.
Yeah, swim, Clyde. There you go. That's so much better.
That's about as bad as Basil. That is embarrassing, and I think you should have another do-over.
That's all right. Finally, saved by the bell.
That was a long way to go for a joke.
Hey, let's go get some lunch. I'm starving.